Hi, it's Andy from Andy and Katie's Allotment. Just wanted to share with you a bit about how I'm planning. It's getting to that time of year now where the plantings for this year are coming to an end. Yes, there are some things that you can still put in, onion sets and so on, which I am doing, garlic, but a lot of my thoughts now are turning to how I'm going to plan for next year. I've spent a lot of time this year doing the designing of the beds and the filling of the compost on my allotment. So now it's a case of what we're going to plant where. I've done it certainly as a first and second planting system, but also I've done some third plantings as well. So in theory, some of the beds we will get 3 lots of produce from one bed, and hopefully that will take us right through to next year at this time when we're putting in the garlic, the onion sets, etc. this time next year. So without further ado, I'm going to show you just how I've mapped out a rough plan for what I'm going to do, or what I'm going to look to do for next year. So what I've done is I've just sketched it out on a piece of paper. Literally, I've drawn out what I'm going to be doing, because I've decided now that I'm just going to concentrate on the first part of the allotment this year. The second part behind the shed is going to be for probably next year or even the year after that. But as I say, I've got the beds roughly mapped out on each piece of paper, and so we'll go through which what my plan is for each plot or for each bed. So if we look at the first plantings, you can see it is a fluid plan. It's not cast in stone, as I said, and there are some arrows where I've already decided to change things, because you can see right at the top there, I've already planted the garlic, and I've ordered some red onion sets. I've also ordered some shallots and brown onion sets. So what's going to happen there is, originally I've put them in beds at the opposite end of the allotment to each other. But I think just to make things a bit more neat, I'm going to change the beds around. So the ones where it says cabbage and cauliflower, I'm going to move to where it says onion sets and shallot sets. So then I've got the garlic, red onions, brown onions and shallots all together in 2 beds. So they will already be well on the way by the sort of planting time next year, or sowing time next year, which will start with February. So the cabbages and the cauliflowers, the peas, they're on the right, spinach, broccoli, can all start mid to late February. I'm going to do those as transplants, so I'm going to sow those in seed trays, then prick them out, put them into module trays, and then when they're big enough and when the weather's a little bit warmer, move them into the beds as per the plan. So the other 2 beds on there, you can see top right, it says parsnips and carrots. They need to go in. I don't put those in, or I'm not going to put those in as transplants. I'm going to put those straight in, so I don't break the tap roots of the parsnip and the carrot. So that's what we're going to do. What I'm going to do with that. So they want to go in sort of March time. So that's that one. The only other one there is the first earlies. So that's obviously potatoes. So I will plant them. There's no rush for those. So mid April, something like that. I will plant those as first earlies, and they will be ready sort of June, late June, early July, depending on the weather. So that's the first lot of plantings. As you can see there, I've got dates or months next to the beds, and that is just roughly when they will be ready, or when the things will be harvested, and so then the beds will become available again for the next set of plantings. So the second lot of plantings is here. So if we start at the top, I didn't mention it on the other one, I've got salad in the small bed. That's eventually going to be flowers, but I've not got that sorted out for this year, so it's going to be the salad bed for this year. So it'll just be ongoing, probably 2, 3, maybe even 4 sowings of salad, and I'll just put in that one bed. So as soon as one's finished, I can start transplanting some more. So then what we've got is, if we go top right again, the parsnips and the carrots. So the parsnips, they're a full season vegetable, so they take a full, as the name suggests, a full season to come to crop. So I've planted that. I've obviously aimed to plant those March time, but they won't be ready till sort of November time onwards, maybe. Some of them hopefully will overwinter, just so that there's no glut, and so therefore, we'll just keep taking them as they come. Under that, there's the carrots, and so I've got in brackets there that they're a later sowing, so you can just get a later variety of carrot, so that we can go straight from the early sowing of carrots that will be ready sort of June time to the later sowing of carrots. It's about 3 months, I think, for carrots. So from June, sort of June, July time, through till October for the next lot. Under that, we've got climbing beans, and they should be ready August, September, as the plan sort of says. So then we've got courgettes, and again you can see the arrow, so this is just going to be that where it says climbing beans and courgettes, they're going to be where the squash, pumpkin, and sweet corn are, and vice versa. So courgettes going to be ready July to September time. They sort of crop over that period, and then we've got the squash, pumpkins, and sweet corn. So all sort of September, October cropping. On the opposite side, the cauliflowers and cabbage at the top there, they're going to be for autumn cropping. So they'll sort of go in directly after the garlic and the red onions, sort of June time, and they should be ready October onwards, really. Cauliflowers, cabbage. The next one is the broccoli. Sorry about that. The next one is the broccoli and some kale, and that will go in to, again, crop around about October time. So that will go straight after the onion sets from the previous sowing. So the onion sets will be done. Well, I'm not sure, because I've overwintered I'll be overwintering the onions, so I'm not sure exactly when they will crop. I'm hoping about June time, because obviously they've had a bit of a boost by being planted this year as opposed to from seed next year. So we've got leeks. They will go in after the potatoes. So leeks after the potatoes, and also purple PSB is purple sprouting broccoli, and TSB is tender stem broccoli. The purple sprouting broccoli will go in, and that will stay in over winter, and that won't actually crop until the following April. So April next year. The tender stem broccoli, I've led to understand anyway, will crop sometime in autumn. Under that we've got sprouts and swede, so that will again follow the cabbage and the cauliflower. So the early cabbage and the cauliflowers will go out in June, and I will plant those into that bed, and they will crop sort of November onwards. Again, hopefully keep through the winter. So that's the second plantings. So as I said, hopefully what I'm going to get is a third set of plantings, which is here. Some of them will stay the same. So as I said, I'll plant garlic, red onion sets, brown onion sets, and shallots next October. So that's directly after the autumn brassicas, and that will take me back to June the following year. So then we've got cabbage and the purple sprouting broccoli, which obviously has been in there all winter. That will crop in April. Then there'll be some nice cabbage that's that will overwinter. So that'll be like a winter cabbage, sort of winter come spring cabbage that will overwinter and crop next June. So then we've got the sprouts and the swede, which again will overwinter and hopefully will finish cropping around about January, February next year. So we've got the parsnips that will be November onwards, that we've already said. I'm going to try some Xmas potatoes, so to get some potatoes for Christmas coming up next year, so a year in December. So hopefully I'll plant those in the summer or in late summer, early autumn, to give me some potatoes for Christmas. And then we've got spinach, which again will be transplanted out to overwinter, and that will again be small plants, as will the cabbage and the cabbage. They'll be planted out in October time as small plants. They will overwinter and just sort of sit there over winter, and that will give them a head start for the following spring. As you can see, the next ones, I'm not going to do anything for a third sowing on those, and they'll be ready to receive plants next year, after I've started to sow in the following January. So it's a plan really for the next 18 months, and that's really what I've looked at. Hopefully it's given you a bit of an idea. Yes, it's sort of still quite fluid and quite changeable, but it gives you a bit of an idea as to what my plans are for hopefully at least 2, if not 3 plantings this coming year. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, then please subscribe to our channel. As I say, it's Andy and Katie's allotment on YouTube. If you like this particular video, then please give us a like. It just helps us, as I say, if you do subscribe, for me to keep the channel up to date, keep it running. And again, thanks for listening.